Alright, so I'm going to attempt to record with my 15-month-old son in here. Just don't mind the extra noises. Alright, so your homework was to do these two practice problems. And these are in vertex form, so your vertex would be at 4, +1 here. Remember, it's HK. H lies, K tells the truth. So your vertex is 4, 1. Now you're going to go to your calculator, type in that problem to the table. And that's -2. Let's go ahead and actually clear out what's there. -2 parentheses x minus 4 parentheses squared plus 1. Hit enter. You want to start at 4 because that's your x coordinate of your vertex. And you're going to step up by 1 every time, and let's go down to OK. The vertex is 4, 1. You want 2 points on either side of that vertex. So 2 points on this side would be 2, -7. Stop. 2, -7. 2, -7. Shh. Right, so we go to our table, we get 2 points on one side, on either side of the vertex. Vertex is 4, 1. I see the point 2, -7, and I see the point 3, -1. So 2, -7 here, and then 3, -1 would be here. Then you're going to look at 2 points on the other side of the vertex, which would be, 5, -1, 6, -7. 5, -1, 6, -7. So that's your parabola. And you can see that it opens down. It's got a maximum point. Your maximum is that y value of your vertex. So this is going to be y = 1. Your axis of symmetry is going to be, if you cut the graph in half, what makes both sides of this graph symmetrical? What vertical line would that? And that's going to be at x = 4. Again, that's your x coordinate of your vertex. Okay, the domain is -infinity to +infinity. The range is going to be from -infinity and it stops up at 1. Remember, domain has to do with x values, range has to do with possible y values. Okay. Interval of increase and decrease. This was something new. So down here, so if you look at your x-axis, over here's -infinity, over here's infinity, and then in the middle of the graph we have 4. I'm going to just carry that down to here. And from -infinity to 4, it looks like the graph is going up, right? I'm going to put a plus sign. From 4 to infinity, the graph is going down. I'm going to put a minus sign. So the interval of increase is going to be from -infinity to 4. The interval of decrease is going to be from 4 to infinity. Okay. In behavior, how is the graph behaving at the ends? So On this graph, both ends are pointing down, so these are both decreases. The ends of this graph, they're both pointing down, so the end behavior would be decreases and decreases. The y-intercept is where this graph crosses this axis, the y, so that's going to be whenever x is 0. So look at your table, and where x is 0 is negative 31. Okay, so practice problem number 2. You had a fraction, you had y equals 1/2 times x minus 2 squared plus 3. The vertex is hk, which is here and here. Remember, the h lies about its true identity. It says it's negative 2. It's really positive 2. The k tells the truth. It says it's positive 3, so it is positive 3. Okay, so then from here, let's plot that. That's 2 and then up 3. Okay, so from here, let's go to your calculator, go to your table, clear out what you have in there, and then type in this problem. I use the fraction key 1/2, parentheses x minus 2, parentheses squared, plus 3. Again, if you hear random noises in the background, it's Jordan. He's with me right now. All right. So I want to start at 2 because that's the x-coordinate of my vertex. I'm going to start at 2. And just off past experience, let's try. So do you see how the graph goes up by 0.5, then it goes to 1, then it goes 1.5. So each little step is 0.5. So that's how I'm going to tell my calculator to do the steps. I'm going to do 0.5. Okay. So your vertex is at 2, 3. Okay. Again, when you have fractions, you may have to play around with the numbers, and you may can only get 2 points. One on each side of the vertex. That's okay. So you want to use points that you can use. And it looks like we have 0, 5. So 0, 5 is going to be 0, and then up 5 is going to be here. And then on the other side of 2, 3, 4 and 5. That works too. 4 up 5. You can try to guess some other points. They're just not going to be very pretty. Okay. So that is your parabola. And it opens up. Does it have a maximum or a minimum? When it opens up, it has a minimum. It's going to be here. That is y equals 3. Again, that is your y value of your vertex. Please have this kind of memorized. You should, at least at this point. Okay, so your axis of symmetry, if you were to cut the graph in half, so it's symmetrical on both sides, that's going to be where x is 2. So this line is x equals 2. So that is your axis of symmetry. Again, it's your x-coordinate of your vertex. The domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. That has to do with your x values, possible x values. Remember, this is just a zoomed in portion of your graph. It keeps going. So the x values going left to right, it can go as far left, as far right as it wants to. So that means the domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. The range has to do with your y values. The range starts at 3, kind of like that brick wall is at 3, and then it goes up from there. So it goes from 3 to infinity. All right, interval of increase and decrease. This was new stuff that we did yesterday. So at the bottom here, Jordan, what are you doing? Don't do that. Nope. Hold on. All right, so intervals of increase and decrease. I'm going to look at the bottom here. The bottom of this graph is the x-axis. Ooh, that looks bad. So over here is negative infinity, over here is positive infinity, and in the middle of our graph is 2. Okay, so if you're looking at that, from negative infinity to 2, the graph is actually going down. So I'm going to put a minus sign. From 2 to infinity, the graph is going up. I'm going to put a plus sign. So the interval of increase would be 2 to infinity. The interval of decrease is going to be negative infinity to 2. The end behavior, both ends of this graph are pointing upward. They're both increasing. So you can put increases for both of these. Okay, the y-intercept, that's going to be here. That's 0 and 5. Again, these are the problems that you should have uploaded. I'm just making sure you can see how to do them after you upload them.